project architects at this project here, which is a deep retrofit in Huddersfield, and the project is called Air. We are looking at the roof installation at the moment. So when we modelled this building to see where the biggest heat losses were, the roof was the main area of heat loss. Also, with it being most of the first floor accommodation is actually within the roof, so within the pitch roof and the dormer, so we want to make sure those rooms are super comfortable. So we're using PIR insulation between the rafters and then wood fibre insulation on top of the rafters and replacing all the roof finishes. Wood fibre is great because not only does it keep you warm in the winter, it also slows down the passage of heat. So in the summer, when roof spaces can often get really hot, it'll keep you nice and cool and comfortable in the bedrooms as well. So the primary driver of this project is to create a house that hardly needs any energy to heat, that can be really warm and comfortable as a retirement home for our clients. As we have to make a lot of changes to the fabric in order to retrofit and insulate and improve the airtightness, it does give us an opportunity to make some improvements to the internal layout, and that is particularly true in this project in the roof. So most of the space is within the roof. We started off with a bathroom and separate toilet. The bathroom wasn't big enough to have a toilet in there, and it wasn't a very functional space. And this whole half of this roof was all just storage. It wasn't being used at all. So we've made a change to where this wall is to make the bedrooms bigger and easier to use. Nice big bathroom, and then this space we've bolted right up to the ridge so that you get this really spacious room that can then be used for 2 desks as a home office. So we'll have 2 desks in here, and what hasn't gone in yet is lots of roof lights to make the most of the views and bring lots of light into this space. So I think we're really going to see the difference here.
Okay, well, I suppose my wife and myself, we're of an age when we're sort of thinking of downsizing. We have a large, very drafty Edwardian semi, which in the conditions we've got today and over the last couple of weeks really with the east wind, not easy to heat, and as you get older you want somewhere a bit warmer really. Also the kids have left home a long while ago. We don't really need that space. So we were keen to try and find a project, either an existing house, which is very difficult in the sort of state that we want, or to actually retrofit a house so that it becomes a warm, cosy environment for our later years. And so looking around, my wife spotted this one for sale, and it got taken off the market a few times and then got put out. And because it was a detached house, it seemed to have potential for external wall insulation, which I think is a beneficial way of doing retrofit. Not everybody has that choice. It's in a conservation area, but actually this building and a number of buildings along here were relatively new in the late 60s, and they detracted from the conservation area. So that shouldn't be an issue. We then had to find a contractor, well, an architect and a contractor. We spoke to 1 or 2 architects of the retirement age around here, and they both pointed to Paul Tester, who I think was just renaming his firm Headlight. And they said that he knew about these things and he was well qualified to do a design for us. So we invited Paul in quite early on, even before we had signed the contract on acquiring this house, to give us a bit of an idea about how it might be done. Are we being silly trying to retrofit this house, or does it make sense? Could it be cost effective? We felt the plan area was sufficient, and sufficiency is quite an issue really when you're looking to go as carbon light as possible. So we were happy with the plan area. It's on a big footprint, but we wanted to extend it in any way. We felt that it could be remodelled internally. And Paul gave us some hints about that. And so by the time we got planning permission, we were able to engage HEM to take it further. So in that respect, I think that covered quite a lot of the areas that we were interested in. Thankfully, we're not living in the property, and of course that makes it somewhat more straightforward to let a contractor do what they had to do to get the thing ready. Now Anna at HEM was able to give us a list of potential contractors to look at. Not all of them. She hadn't worked with some of them, of course, partly because there aren't so many are actually skilled in this type of work. They may be at full capacity anyway. So we were lucky enough to find, through that solution, through that selection, 5 guys who are doing the job now. And I think we've been well advised on that. It was definitely on the list, and Anna's help in sort of sifting through the contractor options has been a bonus, I think, because at the end of the day, firstly you need an architect who could also project manage and do all the detail that's needed, all that taping and all the Airtightness, which is so complex. I mean, I'm an engineer trained by background, but it's way above my level of knowledge, so it's good to have someone who actually understands all that and can check up things, point things out to the contractor when it's not right, and get it sorted before you move forward. So we've had good service from them, very pleased with them, and the contractor choice is working out very well as well. So can't wait to not spend another winter in our old house.
So in this deep retrofit, we're treating every element of the building. So we've got insulation going into the floor. So we're keeping the existing floor joists. This is suspended to the floor, so we're insulating between the joists and then putting an airtight membrane over the top. So you can see some of the membrane here. That is laid across the top and protected while it's being exposed, and then we have to do really careful taping details around the full perimeter of the insulation. So that's what you can see here on the plasterboard, and that's all been done really carefully to make sure that we seal all around the perimeter of the building to stop any cold drafts coming up. So here, actually, because of the existing floor joists, the floor is the least insulated, but it's going to make a big difference to how comfortable the building feels, because that coldness under your feet and drafts on the floor are the things that make you feel cold in the house. So insulating the floor can be a really good move. So as we're mid-project here, we're on site and we're working with the full team, so us as architects, the engineers and the builder. The biggest advice that comes to mind when thinking about the project here is just make sure you've got a really good team.